First of all, the news today that Cameron Cox has gone out on loan to Boreham Wood. What's your sort of thinking behind that? Because you are quite well blessed at fullback at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah, we've got loads of bodies in the building, lots of fullbacks in the building, and it was an opportunity for Cameron to go and play regular football, which I thought for him would be a perfect scenario, really. I know Luke Garrard at Boreham Wood, and I know that he's a good man, and he's got his team, fighting at the right end of the table, and I know that he'll look after him properly. So, I thought it was a perfect opportunity for Cameron to just go and play regular football, which I think, is obviously important. Every footballer wants to play football, so that was the thinking behind that. Junior's done really well in the first few games that I've been here. Cameron played really well against Charlton last week, but the opportunity was there for him to go and play football, so I thought it's fair for him to go and do that.
And does the fact that you've now had a look in sort of competitive football at Osama Ashley in that position as well maybe steer your thinking that way too?
Yeah, I think Ash has got a lot of strings to his bow. He's a young lad, he's a great kid, really good lad. He's desperate to do well. He's a fit boy, he can handle the football, good physicality about him, good size. And I thought the other night he did really well against Gillingham. It was a perfect opportunity for me to see him in that position and see what he was like. And I thought he did really well. So for Coxie to have that opportunity to go and play at Boreham Wood, like I said, it just seemed to fit.
3 unbeaten now. You must be pleased with the start that you've made and the reaction that you've had.
Yeah, I think the boys have been great. Their application in training every day, in the meetings, the little bit of tactical stuff we've been trying to implement in the games, their desire to try and go and get a result, and the work rate together, some of the quality we've shown on the ball as well has been really pleasing. So obviously I'm really chuffed. 3 games unbeaten is nice, but I'm not one for looking backwards. I want, training today's been good. I'm looking forward to training tomorrow and preparing ready for Swindon on Saturday.
This is it, sort of coming into the coaching and managing world as opposed to being a footballer. Does it seem even more unrelenting now you're involved in the coaching side?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, you can hear by my voice that it's been relentless since I've been in the building. But if there's one thing I know about myself is that if I'm going to do anything, I'm going to do it the best I possibly can. And this job is no different. Given an opportunity, I think you only have it. You have a responsibility to yourself and your family to give it everything you've got, and I've got a responsibility to a football club here. So, yeah, it's been relentless, but I've loved every minute of it so far, and I wouldn't change it for one moment.
That responsibility, I guess, is to get points on the board as quickly as possible, to give yourself some breathing space and start to think about other things.
Of course, yeah, we want to get points as much as possible. But we can't run before we can walk. We just got one game at a time. It's a boring football cliche, but it's how I've lived my life, and I will continue to do so. First and foremost, we want to have a good training session tomorrow on Friday, get through that, and try and get the plans in place ready for the weekend, and then we go to Swindon and try and get a result. Obviously we all want to pick up points, we all want to move up the table, but there's no point looking further into the future and forgetting about doing what's right in front of you, which is obviously Swindon away on Saturday. So like I say, we're looking forward to the game. There's good noise at the training ground, there's a good feeling amongst the group, so we'll put a plan in place, and we'll get the boys running around on Saturday, and hopefully we can go there and put on a decent performance.
There's never a year seems to go by without lots of changes at Swindon. They've obviously had another change of head coach and manager across the summer. What have you made of their start?
A very good start. We know they're a good club in this league, a good team. The way they try and pass the ball. Obviously Ben did a great job there last year, and moved on to Charlton, and they've continued that this year. So we know it's going to be a really tough game. They moved the ball nicely, and like I say, we're going to have some our own tactics and our own plans of how we want to combat that. But you've got to respect the way they play their football. You've got to respect the way they set up their team in this league. But I'd also like to think that we want to be respected ourselves, and we want to keep moving forward. So full respect to Swindon. They're a good club, good history of playing football on the floor, even going back to Glenn Hoddle and John Gorman, and my history with John. I know that a history they had there. So it's a game we're looking forward to against a club that we respect, and we're looking forward to going and playing against them on Saturday.
We've spoken about options, even in the short time you've been here, the options you do have at your disposal. Obviously Noah Chilvers wasn't in the matchday squad last Saturday, and he comes in, starts on Tuesday night and gives you a headache. Yeah,
they're the headaches you want, aren't they? As a manager, I don't want the team to be you're not doing it right if your team picks itself and you haven't got any options at the side of that. Obviously you want a consistency in your team selection, I would say, because you don't want to be chopping and changing too much. But at the same time, when games like Tuesday night come around, you want players to stick their hand up and tell you they want to play, and they have to do that in their performance. And I thought there was a good few of them the other night who did that. So give me some headaches, which like I say is the ones I want, and we'll try and pick a team ready for Saturday that we feel that can win the game.
And is it picking a team to play the opposition, or is it picking what you think is your best team?
I want to pick what my best team is, and also you have to, of course, you have to think about what the opposition bring and how you can counter them. But I don't really want to become too obsessed with who we're playing against. I want to choose what's best for us. I want us to be the best we can possibly be. I want the boys to believe in themselves and trust themselves to play football the way we believe that we can play football. I want them to believe in the structure and the strategy that we've got in place and do us the best we possibly can. Of course, with any football match, you have to respect the opposition and you have to make plans about what they're going to bring and try and counter their strengths. And it'd be naive not to do so, and I'll be diligent in our preparation. But at the same time, I want us to concentrate on us and be the best we can be.
Just finally for me, there was no Cole excuse for Freddie Sears or Kwesi Appiah on Tuesday night. Was that just merely a chance for them to take some time out? Yeah,
most certainly. These guys. I know. Playing football in your 30s. Sometimes if you have an opportunity for a breather, it's silly not to do that. Like I say, we've spoken about the options we have in the squad, and I don't think it was right to push those guys any further than we need to with the midweek games if we've got opportunities to play other players. So I respect the careers those guys have had. They've still got plenty to give. It's not a case of them winding down, but at the same time, as you saw with the team selection in both the Papa John's games, I wanted to make sure that everyone plays plenty of football, so that was the thinking behind it.